Oh no! Our table is broken!
Yeah. Yeah. Don Brown. Bills Mafia. Yeah. You find us, we breaking the tables, we tailgating, breaking them tables. You know the mafia dangerous, you see us, we breaking the tables. We breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them, breaking them. You find us, we breaking the tables, we tailgating, breaking them tables. You know the mafia dangerous, you see us, we breaking the tables. We breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them, breaking them. You know the mafia dangerous. Put a hit out on your favorite team.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
Been shooting the bomb, mafia mine. Please don't step on my shoes. Game day ones, the white, the red, the blues. Hey man, breaking tables is traditional. Wishing the fish, look at my drip. Never cheating like Belichick is. Sean McDermott never telling the biz. Deion Dawkins, Vincent Brown, we got Mitch. Gabe Davis told tapping to this. Who making anthems that slapping like this? Nobody getting the traction like this. You find us, we breaking the tables. We tailgating, breaking them tables. You know the mafia dangerous. You see us, we breaking the tables. We breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them. The podcast breaking tables, you see us, we breaking them tables. Neil and Brian is breaking the tables. The mafia, baby, you know that we dangerous. Everybody know. Don Brown.
Get the tables.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Victory Mondays, Breaking Tables. This is Epic B.
This is Tampa Neil.
What's going on, Bills Mafia? There's nothing better than a victory, unless it's an amazing victory. In the great words of Owen Wilson, wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. I totally forgot about week one. Week one was a good, I count that as a preseason game. Week two was the start of our season. And Tampa Neil, way to come out, man.
Dude, seriously, like that game was amazing. I mean, they had that little stumble in the beginning, but other than that, man, they were on it. They were on point every aspect of the game.
Well, before we kind of recap this game, because there's a lot to talk about, a lot to cover without getting, we want to be unregurgitated here. I'm sure there's a bunch of outlets that are kind of reporting the same thing, that the Bills are back. Before we get into that, though, this weekend was epic, especially for Tampa Neil. Got to hang out in Orlando with the crew, Orlando backers, and Stevie Johnson and Caleb. How'd that go, man?
Oh yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. Got there, got everything all set up. Getting ready to do the show. We're getting signed in, logged in, everything. Talking to you, we're like, hell yeah, man, ready to go. And then I'm told to move my table.
You're gonna have to go to the basement, sir.
And then they unplugged me and moved me everywhere. I don't know what happened, but hey, guess what? We still made it on in time. We had a minute to spare. I was like, done. Let's get this going. Caleb came up, talked with him. His whole family was there. They were a blast. They were extraordinarily nice. Like at the end of the day, his mom came up to me and my wife and were like, thank you so much for including him on your show. And I'm like, we love him on the show. He was fun as hell. So
right.
Yeah. He was a blast to to hang out with. Had a few shots of rumplements with him and his family, and had a lot of rumplements with Walter and Stevie.
Of course.
So yeah, it was a fun-filled weekend. I don't know if people noticed, but when I set the thing up, the camera, I set it up perfectly height-wise for me and Caleb, and then Stevie Johnson comes over and he's like, that's much higher than us. So you may have only seen like half his head.
Yeah, no, we seem just fine, and I'm glad that we had some people do some chugging contest for the Stevie Johnson signed jersey.
Yes, the chugging contest was a lot of fun. We had probably about 12 people that signed up for it, and at first, I thought we gave the jersey to the wrong person. I was reading or watching the thing afterwards, the video of it afterwards, and I'm like, did the DJ win?
That's the guy on the left, right? The guy on the left looked like he finished.
One of the guys on the
right?
left looked like he finished his beer.
There the guy that won was wearing the Zuba shirt,
Yeah.
right? And then the one directly, for watching the video, the one directly to the left of him tried to swirl his beer and ended up spilling it all over.
Yeah, he
but
spilled
like
all over
two
himself.
guys over, this big dude looks like he pounded it, but
Yeah.
he didn't like dump it over though. So I don't know who won.
So the guy in the Zubas definitely did win. I thought
Okay.
the guy that you were talking about, I thought he won as well. When I saw the video again, and I went up to him like, "Dude, I think you actually won that." He goes, "No, I didn't finish my beer." When you look back in the video, he gives it another sip after it's all over. So the guy in the Zubas won. It was a lot of fun. Everybody was, that was probably something that people there were not expecting. But
Well,
hey, that's what we do. That's what we do at breaking tables.
Yeah, right. We'll bring out the best out of everybody. But here we go, beating up the Las Vegas Raiders, Los Angeles, Oakland, whatever you want to call them, whatever city that they're in now. It was just good going out there, completely forgetting about week one again. So that was a preseason game. Week one was a preseason game. We're going to call that dress rehearsal. Okay. Week two, that is what we should expect on every single game this year. Just there should be no excuses. There were no mental breakdowns, and it just, I feel good. Like today I woke up just energized, like, wow, I can't believe we just really went out there and embarrassed the Raiders. And for my friends who are texting me, no, that was not Epic B that got arrested, who fell into the pit. Fell into the pit there at the new Highmark Stadium or whatever, the new stadium. That everybody's like, "Hey, was this you? Are you in the hospital? What happened?" Like, it was definitely not me. So don't worry, guys.
There's a 29-year-old, so it definitely was not going to be.
Well, I could pass for a 29-year-old, Neil, unlike yourself.
Unlike me.
Right, exactly. Hold on. I got Walter wants to join us because he has a special announcement, as always. Let me go ahead and send Walter will probably hop on here in a bit. But let's go to the group here. Guys, please hit that like, hit that share button. Makes us feel good. Capraj, hello, boys. I'm still tired. A very, very long but fun day. I'm sure. I'm sure. First opening game.
They were there early.
Home opener. I mean, I'm sure Capraj probably spent the night out there in the parking lot. Lisa, go Bills. Patty Bean, Buffalo Patty. Sup, guys? Great game this week. The Bills even showed up. Thank you, Patty. Walter, what's going on, bud?
Yo, what's up, man?
Man, you
What's
look
up,
rough.
man?
King of Rumplemans.
Man, dude, this weekend was 3 heavy days of partying, man. I mean, like I said, we literally started Friday with Stevie, and then we were out all night Saturday drinking, watching the University of Kentucky because that's obviously where he went. Sunday, I will say Stevie had to tap out. The last we saw of him was around 6:30, and I got a text from him at 5:30 this morning saying, "I'm back." He says, "The last thing I remember is taking a shot of Rumplemans." And I said, "That'll do it to you."
Yeah. Way to time travel. Way to teach Stevie Johnson how to time travel. Very nice.
He definitely time traveled all right, let me tell you. And then we got up this morning. He did the speaking engagement at the Volusia County Jail. Man, that was a humbling experience, especially after this weekend. You know, we're in there meeting guys that are in there for life, that when they were talking about certain things, they literally asked, "What's a Roku TV?"
Wow.
And I tell you, man, we left out of there completely changed.
Well, it could be worse. Martin Tilton goes, watch the game on a 2-hour drive and almost ended up in a ditch a few times. There we go.
But I just want to jump out here and just say thanks to Neil for coming out, having a good time with the chugging contest yesterday. Obviously, they ran into some problems trying to get everything set up. The bar owner was freaking out. That's who Neil was dealing with yesterday on Sunday, was the bar owner, because nothing was working. So he's trying to get everything set up, and the TVs on the inside of the one bar completely down. And that's what he was freaking out about.
I went to Walter. I'm like, I'm blaming that guy for the first touchdown. He goes, "That's why my screen wasn't right."
Yeah, so he was completely in panic mode because he could not figure out what the hell was going on. So yeah, it definitely was a fun weekend. Obviously, Brian missed out on all the shenanigans, and The tattoo still looking fresh.
Look at that.
Nice. So, B, did you get any text messages from people? Because I had a handful of people come up to me and say, dude, we got text B, and why is he not here? So I flipped off about 3 different cameras there, said they were going to text them to you.
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of different text messages from on Facebook with Tap and Neil, and whoever buddy was taking the photo, flipping me off. Like, what the fuck did I do, guys? All right,
hey, I will say this though. Caleb can put down some rumplements. I am not going to. Dude, this dude was keeping up with me, and so was his mother.
Yeah, they did some shots, man. They definitely did a few shots. He was chugging beers.
Yeah.
When you go through what Caleb's gone through, I think that is well deserved. So good for him.
That guy was hardcore.
He's living life, living the best life, man.
Yeah, that dude was awesome. And even he said, he's like, man, I wish Epic B was here.
I'm surprised I didn't get a middle finger from him. I got it from everybody else.
I said, Epic B gets too drunk and just disappears and goes back home.
No, that's not true. I don't do that.
But no, guys, for real, I just want to say thank you guys for coming out yesterday and everything else, man. Well, on Sunday, we had a hella good time. And hopefully we get you guys to come back out again. And hopefully Brian shows up this time.
Yeah, I will, brother. I promise next time around, I'll definitely will, man.
Absolutely, guys. You guys have a good night.
All right, brother.
Bud.
Later, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
Awesome, man. Awesome. All right. So how about this game? How about this 38-10 just romp house? Raiders look like a NFL team versus a junior varsity team. I'm pretty sure somebody was close to that score prediction. When they first scored that first touchdown, it hit me in the gut. I go, damn, there goes my 52-0 anticipated prediction. Tampa Deal, I think you were pretty damn close, right?
Walter was actually the closest. His score was 42-10 was his prediction. Okay. So he was pretty damn close. If they didn't decide to put Kyle Allen in at the end, I think that they would have gotten to his. But one thing we definitely have to announce, because we are in the show, and this show is sponsored by Janet Gosh, our favorite realtor here in Florida. If you are buying, selling, or renting a home, feel free to give her a call, 716-861-9580, or email her at janetgosh716@gmail.com, and she will hook you up with either a new place to live or a place to live. So give her a call. If you are a big Bills fan, she will also hook you up with a $100 gift card to either Straight Outta Buffalo or Living Tours and Rentals. Straight Outta Buffalo is there today too, or this weekend too.
Nice. I haven't seen how's Sean doing? I haven't seen him in a while.
Dude, Sean was a little rough yesterday. He was sweating his ass. It was hot where he was. The sun was like beating down on him. I'm like, dude, why didn't you bring a tent?
It is hot in Florida, man. Especially it now. Hot. Oh my goodness. That's why I'm so glad that we're not playing the Dolphins in this month, just because it's so unbearable. No. Oh my God.
Well, and he brought this girl to help him out, and I went up to him, was talking with him for a few minutes. He goes, dude, all this girl's doing is taking selfies of herself.
Oh, you can't find good help these days.
And I'm like, oh, sorry, man.
Justin Osborne goes, I heard someone gets drunk in the airport and has conversation with Mike Vick. Yeah, all right.
That happens. Happens to the best of us.
Hey, Mike, I saw the photo of you and Mike. At least Mike didn't flip me off. He's the only one.
I thought that he did it too.
I don't know, man. There's so many of them. That's hilarious. All right, guys, here we go. Let's get into this game. 38-10. Let me just start off right now with the biggest takeaway. Josh Jacobs, who? I mean, minus 2 yards. You're talking about the guy who ran the rushing king last year to minus 2 yards. That is unheard of, Neil, right?
That is 100% unheard of. It's actually never happened since the merger. So the fact that they held him, he was completely out of it yesterday. He did absolutely nothing at all. They shut him down. It was great to see. I mean, yeah, that running game got nowhere yesterday. There was one run they had. That was it. That wasn't even him.
Well, let's talk about, because that's kind of like the elephant in the room. Minus 2 yards, rushing leader 2022, minus 2. Where did he go? Nowhere. Okay. That is unheard of. Amazing. And it felt good to say that again, especially in a bar full of Bills fans. Where's he going? Nowhere. Everybody's automatically like they remember from last year, like, oh, this is I can't wait. But things that we love. Tampa Neal. What was the thing that you loved about this game?
You know what? I'm not just going to tell you about the thing that I love. I'm playing it for you because that Matt Milano interception was probably one of the most impressive interceptions you'll ever see.
Slot here. 1st and 10. Play action. Garoppolo time. And intercepted Matt Milano. What an interception. Fatality.
Basically, Matt Milano went up behind Josh Jacobs too. And he's like, give me the ball, and just rips it out of him. And Jason's like, what the fuck just happened?
Straight up jumped over the guy and just snagged that ball and ripped it, bro. We were all like, we didn't know how to react. We're like, wait, did that just happen?
Yeah. I mean, his timing was perfect. Everything on that was just completely perfect. It was amazing. Like, just boom, gone. Give me it and go away.
Well, you know, that the team or what set that up was that defensive line was just attacking.
Oh, yeah.
Like Rousseau, like, man, that Ed Oliver was on point. I think everybody was on point. That D line was on point. But Rousseau is coming out of his shell, and you're starting to see it. He's there. He's so lengthy. I mean, it's like we don't even have Von Miller, so it's like we have the best player on the bench right now. But Rousseau is like kind of making up for that. Just his speed, the way he's off the ball, he's in the backfield. Those guys. I mean, Garoppolo didn't really have any time to throw it to anybody. Well, outside of Devontae Adams, but I mean,
in the first drive, only in the first drive.
And honestly, when I was watching that, I'm going to ask you after I tell you how I felt. When I saw that first drive, it kind of punched me right in the gut. I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. Come on, Buffalo. What are we doing? And just when Bernard got that first interception with a Rousseau tip, again, and it was just like, all right, we're back. And then we come down and we just didn't we kept that foot on the pedal the whole entire time. But how'd you feel after that first drive when they came down and scored in our house?
Dude, it was a kick right to the nuts. I'm like, come on. You got to figure this out quick. That you can't lose to the Raiders. You just can't lose to the Raiders. And I mean, you even talk about Rousseau. Our defensive line somehow or another did not have one sack yesterday, but Garoppolo had no time to throw that football. None whatsoever. He was just being thrown all over the place. Yeah. It was impressive to watch. It was fun to watch. But,
well,
yeah.
You know what I really, really loved. It's rare to see this happen from a McDermott team. What I really loved about this game, okay, this is what I was like, oh my God, they're actually doing it. How about the 4th and 1s? How many times we went for it? They're like, fuck it, let's go for it. Stop playing conservative ball. And the most impressive one was when we ran up the clock after the third quarter. We get the ball on second half, right? We spent like 10 minutes holding on to that ball. They get down to the 10-yard line, and like the kick field comes out. I'm like, no, come on. You spent 10 minutes holding, or 9 minutes or whatever, holding that ball, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to take a field goal? 9 minutes for 3 points? You can't. Stop it. And then I don't know what happened. Josh Allen might have been like, no, Bass, get your ass back. I'm benching you, Bass. I'm the captain now. Josh walked up to McDermott and goes, I am the captain now. We got this. And McDermott's like, fuck it, let's go. That is what I love. If we played like that against week 1, the preseason game, week 1, dress rehearsal against the Jets, we would have smacked the face too.
Yeah, would have been a slaughter.
But that was something that I absolutely loved, and you rarely get to see that from a Sean McDermott team because he's very conservative, and it just pisses me off sometimes. It's like, just go for it. I mean, I get it. Yeah, you're on the 40-yard line. You know, do you want to punt it? What do you want to do? Field goal? I mean, we got Bass, so it's kind of difficult to predict. But when you spend 9 minutes holding a ball, having possession, Garoppolo is just like, he starts all giddy, like all, getting warmed up and stuff, and he's like, I'm going to sit back down. Another first down, but have you seen that before, Neil? Wasn't that how do you feel when he was like, fuck it, we're going for it?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was nervous. I was like, oh no.
So you wanted him to
just
kick a
kick it
field goal.
here.
You wanted him to kick a field goal after 9 minutes of holding on to that ball coming out of the second quarter.
On the first one that they actually missed, I was all about going for it. I didn't like the play call, but I was all about going for it. That second one, I was just like, oh, just go kick the field goal. Why not? We've already killed them in this point here. And then they didn't. I'm like, great call. I love it.
Place must have been wild, just like here at South Florida HQ, South Florida Bills Backers HQ. Brendan's just the place was just rattling when they got that. That's funny. Martin goes, my favorite was when Josh Allen and his boy in the Raiders tried to do a dirty dancing move. No,
dude, that was hilarious.
Josh Allen teabagged Epps, bro. He just straight up like, all right, here, D's. Yeah,
well, it was funny.
I love the comments, guys. Keep it up. I love that 4th and 1, guys. 4th down. I absolutely love that. Keep your foot on the throttle. What's that, Neil?
Allen looked like he was having fun yesterday. Like that first game, he did not look like he was having fun, even a little bit. Yesterday he was having fun. Like even that jump that he did attempted to do over his boy, he got up and they was laughing his ass off. I feel like there's a lot of people that are laughing their ass off, except Sean McDermott.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, well, I mean, come on. Anytime Josh Allen's in the air, we're like, no,
Oh,
yeah. So a lot of good stuff to come out of this game, but we talked about in the pregame show what were the kind of keys of victory, and I mentioned someone who had to really step it up, just because we haven't seen him step it up in a while. But Spencer Brown was holding his own. I mean, yeah, there was a couple plays where it was like, whatever, but those couple plays was like what he was playing constantly. But to have Max Crosby not get any QB hits or any sacks, Max Crosby is a Pro Bowl
All Pro,
guy.
yeah,
all Pro, and you're and he's up against. That was one of my biggest worries, and Spencer Brown came through. What do you think about Spencer Brown, man? How do you think he did?
That was one of the things I was going to say. I had that written down here. I'm like, I've criticized the shit out of him. I've been criticizing Spencer Brown all year. I should say all year, including the preseason. He just didn't. He looked like a stone. Like there was stones on his feet, like not moving. But man, yesterday he was on it. He was on point, and yeah, he was going against Matt Crosby for pretty much the entire game.
I think he must have watched our show because we were kind of critiquing very little too harsh.
But one thing that they were doing also, right off the snap, you had Kincaid or a receiver hitting Crosby to start off. So it already put him off balance. So it actually gave Spencer Brown a little bit quicker to get himself in place. And if they got to do that all year, do it. That's fine. You've got 2 tight ends, 2 very good tight ends. Do it. Knock these guys off the ball so it helps Spencer out.
Right. Or stop them a little bit. Just that hesitation. If your weakness is getting off the ball quicker or not getting off the ball quick enough, then yeah, it makes sense. And honestly, that's where a lot of success comes in, because the guys they'll hit them and then they'll move off into the flats and they're wide open because people forget about them. Like, oh shoot. So it worked really well. And I'm interested to see, what they're going to do to continue that, Neil. So way to steal my thunder. So, okay. Josh Allen having a, 85% passer completion, 124 QBR, all that, no interceptions. I was kind of scared when we had that one interception, but he ended up getting like in the head. Right? It's like, I was like, no, there's a flag, and I'm like, oh, everybody's like breath just kind of dropped. It's like, oh my god, an interception. I mean, we were up by like 20, 3 touchdowns still, but it's like we didn't want to. I don't want a Josh Allen interception. I don't know.
I wanted a 0 interception day. Got the haters up.
But man, how about Jimbo, baby? How about James Cook? First 100-yard game. Just he's catching, dipping, dodging, duck, dive, dodge. you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a football, but man, he was everywhere. And like every time you saw like he looks like he was going to fall to the ground, the guy's crawling on all fours to get another 4 yards. We're like, wait, what? It looked like he was going to get minus that one play. It looked like he was going to get like a minus 2 yards, and he get a plus 4 out of that. I mean, that's 6 yards of crawling on the ground. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that play was pretty amazing because I'm like, wow, we're losing yards. Damn it. And then all of a sudden I see him keep going. I'm like, holy shit.
Wait a minute.
All right. Yeah.
Let's see that again.
They didn't have an answer for him at all. Like Oakland had no answer for him. I don't think that I think they completely underestimated his speed.
Who's Oakland?
Because he was all over the place. And he was running people over. He's not that big either, which is funny because like he was just running people over. I mean, the whole running game in general yesterday was just on point.
I know. It's good to have a good running game and a good support staff for that running game. Latavius Murray, just big guy, healthy. I mean, Latavius Murray, I don't think he's ever finished his season healthy, but because he was always the only guy to really be a running back. I mean, he was a solid first and second year, but he kept on getting injured because they kept on working him. But when you have that tandem of Cook, Harris, and Latavius Murray get some break, you're going to see a lot of good things out of this running crew, regardless who you're going to be playing. Because if that offensive line plays the way they play continually the rest of the year, you're going to see a lot of positive numbers. We're going to have a 1,000-yard running back, which we haven't had in a long time, and you're going to have two guys that can punch people in the teeth.
Oh yeah, Latavius Murray tied an NFL record yesterday.
You did?
He did.
I didn't know that. What is it?
He has scored a touchdown with 6 different teams. So every team that he has played with, actually every single year he has played, he scored a touchdown, but he's played with 6 different teams and he scored a touchdown with all of them. The only other person to do it was Adrian Peterson.
So. Dave Kaprach sent me a photo. He's next to a Raiders fan. So there's a picture of a Raiders fan, number 75 long, and he's sitting next to a Bills fan.
Yes,
Johnson 11. That's great. But that's good for Latavius. That's good for Latavius. It looks like he's making a name for himself, and Harris too. I mean, Harris he doesn't have that big physique like Latavius Murray does, but I mean Harris he's shifty. Harris reminds me of like a stronger Singletary. Well, James Cook reminds me of James Cook because that guy is going to be a beast this year. I'm telling you. But I mean, Harris, hell, you might see Harris with kick returns more often. Just what he did with that one kick return.
41-yard return. That was awesome.
It's like he's like straight up downfield. Like he knows how to cut it too. He's got moves, but I'm very excited to see what's going to happen with our running game this year. And that's weird because we got Josh Allen. We have a top tier quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, future Hall of Famer, and we're interested about this running game. Why, you ask? Because that running game opens up the possibilities to get these big plays, especially the play actions, because that's what you're going to need to get a lot of these down the play actions. So what that's designed for is you got a running game going and you do a play action where you fake the ball in the running back. I'm just kind of breaking it down, mansplaining here. And that kind of brings the team kind of closer to the line of scrimmage. And you have your speedsters like your Diggs or your Gabe Davises that just gets wide open. And that's where you get your big chunk yards.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of analytics right there.
That's a lot of stats. My head's kind of spinning here. Where is that button here? I got a button for this somewhere. Let's see. Is it? No, it's not a button. It is a video. Fuck, where is that? I should have this ready. Here we go.
To me, stats really.
Where'd you go? Stop, Neil.
To me, stats really don't matter.
Okay, there it is. But yeah. We got to bring up the stats though, because it's good for, the week after our dress rehearsal game against the New York Jets, New Jersey Jets, excuse me. So it was, listen, it was really good all around the defensive line. One thing, okay, you know what? Before we talk about things we didn't like that much, we got to get a little shout out to the special teams. Somebody asked, what was the difference? How do we feel the difference between week 1, the preseason dress rehearsal game, versus week 2 against the Raiders, or as Tampa Neal calls them, Oakland still. They did a hell of a lot better. I mean, they didn't give up any big yards. I mean, they helped us out with the field position. Kind of scared about what happened with Sam Martin, with whoever it was, that Damian Harris just got blown back.
Yeah, got blown
into Sam Martin.
We didn't need him the rest of the game, so it didn't matter.
Right. But yeah, it's like, oh,
But,
I'm okay with
well,
that.
we don't want him getting hurt. We don't want him getting hurt.
Right. Yeah, we definitely don't want to get him hurt, which, you know, he's just a punter. What would he do, you know? But they played a hell of a lot better, than what they were doing since the week 1 dress rehearsal game. So good on the special teams. Tampa Neal, moving on to things that we didn't like. What was the thing that you did not like about this game, Tampa Neal?
The first drive. For both times. Both sides did not like the first drive. They just didn't look like they were ready to get going. But they got it together real quick. I think they got a little annoyed about stupid stuff happening, and they came out really quick. But yeah, that first drive, both sides of the ball just wasn't pretty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It was what we talked about earlier in the show. It was a punch to the gut, or what you say, not
right to the nuts.
Oh man. Yeah, it definitely hurt, and it feels good to come back out and keeping that foot on the throttle, and that's what McDermott did. So that's what you didn't like. I didn't like. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Adams, he's a hell of a wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Okay, but Benford just kept on getting smoked by him. Every time I look, that Benford was on. I don't know if he was trying to play one-on-one with him or even a zone, but like, if that is all they had to throw it to, I mean, Hooper, their tight end, wasn't even in the game, or he was in the game, but like he only had like 1 catch, I think, or maybe 2. I don't know, because they didn't really have too many catches outside of Devontae Adams. And it was always Benford just getting smoked. So I'm like, all right, that kind of puts that question mark, is that CB2? Are we really going to give that CB2 position to Benford, Neil? What are your thoughts?
Benford didn't look good in that first drive, but I'll tell you, he looked pretty damn good against him the rest of the game. I mean, even when they threw that penalty on him too. Remember that? They threw that penalty on him. I was like, oh, that was pass interference. And they showed it. I'm like, actually, no, that was fucking amazing coverage. He turned around right at the perfect time and played that ball perfectly, and that's why they picked the flag up. And that ended up turning out to be where the fumble.
Same exact thing. No, it wasn't. It was the pass where he launched it up to Devontae Adams, and they threw the flag, and I was like, oh my God, Benford again. He's not even looking around. But then they slowed it down, and he was just on him. Didn't even touch him.
Perfect coverage, yeah.
And he caught it, but his feet were out of bounds. So they called the flag.
That's right.
They picked the flag back up. You remember, they picked the flag back up, and they were gonna the announcers were like, they better hurry up and snap the ball. And I'm like, I'm yelling at the TV in the bar, going, throw the red flag, throw the challenge flag. He's out of bounds. They can't challenge. They can't challenge the flag.
and then they basically said that New York called that down. They didn't have to throw a red flag.
Yeah, that was good on them. About time that the New York HQ referee HQ actually did something good for at least the Bills. I know we say that a lot. It's always Bills versus everybody, including the referees, and that's good that they did that. But I was excited when first I was mad, then I was like, Bedford, all right. But I think at that point, when you were up 4 touchdowns, I can care less how good people play, but just watching just the first, maybe it took them a couple quarters to get used to playing again. I don't know. But that is what I didn't really like too much. So.
Well, I'll tell you, what's also nice is when Milano caught that interception, he did not go in the quarterback's face and taunt him. That was a good job of him.
Right. I'm sure he wanted to. He like faced the other way. He's like,
I'm sure he wanted to, but I don't think he liked writing that check this week.
he's like, "Hey, Matt, if you want to
Cost you
get
$10,000.
if you want to talk some shit, let's come out to we have this blue tent. I'll let you. We have a picture of the quarterback of Garoppolo, a cutout. We'll let you talk so much shit, and you can even rip up that cutout board too." So that's what they did. That's what McDermott said. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Going to the comments, Mike Patrick. I know a lot of us don't like having starters playing preseason, but we did not look unprepared. We did not look prepared versus New Jersey, and a lot better yesterday. Yeah, it's one game of
100%.
getting your football, I guess your football muscles into shape. That's all it took. It's one game. What's up, Connie? We see you out there. Gina, Josh needs to stop jumping over guys when trying to make plays on his own. They're expecting and waiting for it. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think that was, if I'm a football player, I don't want to be posterized by Josh Allen jumping over me. So it's like maybe they're tackling, maybe they're expecting the jump. He should have just lowered down and stuck his shoulder in.
Run him over. Yeah. He's bigger than the guy.
Bigger dude in apps. I think he just could have run him over, but I mean, we still got a 6 out of it. So I'm okay. Off that drive, not Josh Allen, obviously, but only one drive outside of the first punt was we kicked that field goal. It was like, I think we were 28-10 at the time. So up 18 points. And it's like, all right, field goal. All right, fine. But it was
Bass needs practice too.
All right. I know Bass is like, come on, coach. My cousin's fantasy, he has me as her kicker. All right, come on, Tyler. McDermott's like, let me ask the real coach. Hey, Josh, is it okay?
Is it okay?
Oh my goodness. But it's, it feels a lot better. Obviously, it's terrible losing a game, especially us Bills fans, where it's like, this is the year, Neil. This is our year. And it's, we said in the beginning of the preseason, before preseason even started, in August, we were like, is this a Super Bowl or bust kind of year? And I don't know if we set that expectations up on ourselves to say that, even though it's ridiculous. We all know that we love the Bills. We're going to root for them no matter what, no matter what they decide to do, but it's still that we set those expectations up and we get our hopes up. And then, we lose a game. It floors us, man. It just dictates our emotions for the rest of the week. And it takes a game like this. I mean, even if it was a victory, it would have been like, oh, all right, cool. We just won. But it was the way we won, how we won. All faucets of our team, special teams, defense, offense, were just destroying the Raiders. Like, they didn't belong on that field, Neil.
No, they didn't. Yeah, it felt awesome.
My psychologist says, don't let a NFL team dictate your emotions. And I said, fuck you.
Never met a Bills fan.
Right? That's a diagnostic as Bill Smuffy. I don't know. I was going to come up with some cool psychological thing, but I didn't really think about that one. But anyways, what else do you have on your docket there, Tamanil?
Well, I was going to say about Dawson Knox. So his touchdown, he has scored a touchdown every single home opener.
Nice.
He's played. I'm like, that's pretty impressive. 4 years in a row. Bam.
And I think he's number 2 now, all-time Buffalo tight end, below Pete Metzelaars for touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. I think I might have heard that as well.
I saw it somewhere. But wait. So here, speaking of tight ends, right, Neil? Kincaid, man, what can't this kid do? I mean, he can block, like you said, helping out Spencer Brown. He can catch, he can run people over.
He can run people over. I love it.
Well, I think he did drop one. I mean, that one like bullet to the end zone where he got up and he just got cracked, but he got right back up. But you're going to see something special happen with this kid. Just watch the yards after catch. Last year, our YAC was one of the worst in the leagues, but you're starting to see a different trend this year. And it's going to help out that we've got a kid like Kincaid that is like he shrugged people off. Mind you, the guys that are covering him they're not cornerbacks. They're either going to be like a safety or they're going to be a linebacker. Number one, he's bigger than a safety, and number two, he's a lot faster than a linebacker. So that's why Travis Kelce is as good as he is, because we can't cover him, or teams can't. It's a mismatch nightmare. And if you've got your best guy on Kincaid, then what are you gonna do with? Well, number one, the other tight end, Knox, who's playing that 12 personnel, Knox, Gabe Davis. What are you going to do there? Stephon Diggs, who was open all day yesterday. He was open all day yesterday.
Well, that first touchdown that what was it, the 4th and 1, the first 4th and 1 that the first 4th and goal they won for that they missed, that Knox went up to grab.
It was the second one. The second 4th down. The first one, Josh Allen ran it to 2 yards, but then it was another, I think it was 4th and goal, I believe. The second 4th down where he threw it to Knox.
The one they missed. Yeah, that ball was going to Diggs. That ball was going to Diggs, I think, because it was too high. It was too high for Knox, and he reached up to grab the thing. But I think if he would have not touched that, that was a touchdown to Diggs. They showed that replay. I was like, oh, I think if he wouldn't have touched that, Diggs was catching that for a touchdown.
I don't know. I think Diggs was wide open. Mind you, he was wide open all day yesterday, but in the end zone. So maybe it was just a breakdown of miscommunication on Knox. But that ball was directed. I think Knox was 5 yards ahead of Diggs. And even
it was 5 yards ahead of him.
Let's say for the sake of argument that Knox didn't go up and grab it. I don't think Diggs could have ran and got that ball, just how quick that ball was taking off. I think that was on Josh Allen. Because after the play, you see Diggs come on, man. Hey, what's up, Meredith?
Did you see about this?
Gina's hanging out with Poyer, Poyer's dad. That was a funny little story. What's that?
They did a shot ski with him.
Well, you see the post that she put. She was like, yeah. So I'm sitting there wearing Poyer's jersey, and this guy comes over. Hey, thanks for supporting Poyer. And she's probably like, who the fuck are you? And then but Noelle's like, do you know who that is? This is, by the way, Bill's back. Buffalo Bill's backers chapter. And she's like, no. Well, that's Poyer's dad. Next thing you know, they're all doing shot skis. It's like, that's cool. But hang that one up. But it's, I'm starting to like this 12 personnel, which just adds just another element, adds that extra blocking if needed. And it also opens up, gives the line a little extra comfort when they can just put in a shot and then go out for a ball. And that was, a lot of our successful plays were like that. They did that with Kincaid, did that with Knox. They did that with, Jimbo. So it was just like, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I know teams are going to try to keep a guy in that flat area, but if you do that, if you get the opposing teams to move up to that 5, the line of scrimmage, the 5 yard line area called the flats, you're going to have just backfield open all day. You can't do both. It's either one or the other. So that's why it's going to be interesting.
Well, other teams are going to look and see what we just did this week, and that's probably going to scare the shit out of some defensive coordinators, because now they have to play this team with a running game that they haven't had in Josh Allen's career since McCoy.
True. That is 100% spot on, man.
So now they can't they can't just drop everybody back. They've got to have a couple linebackers in the box now being ready for a run. Or they got to, and even worse, if that happens, now they're going to have a linebacker on Knox or Kincaid, which is a dream for us. Go ahead, put a linebacker on him. They're not going to keep up with them.
All we need is just that offensive line to give Josh Allen 5-6 seconds, and he's going to. If we're not going to run the ball, give Josh Allen 5-6 seconds. We're going to have guys open every time. You looked at the week 1 preseason game against the Jets. Josh Allen was trying to be out of his element, play hero ball, but there was always that guy that was open 5-10 yards. And, that nickel and diming, that's what we did to the Raiders, and it worked. there was always a guy open, or there was just a good catch or good pass, or just a lot of good missed opportunities, mismatch. And don't get me wrong, Raiders are not a crappy team. They're I mean, okay, yeah, they're a shitty team,
They
but
suck.
I mean, they're still, they're
They're
still
still an NFL football team. Yeah.
So that's, and you can, win or lose any given week. Look at week 1 preseason dress rehearsal against the Jets. I love saying that, or I'm going to keep saying that the rest of the season. When we're 16.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, the amount of time that the Bills had the ball in that second half was just unreal. First off,
9 minutes coming off.
Nine minutes. Yeah, 9 minutes. Then the Raiders had the ball for like 2 minutes, and then they went on another 7-minute drive after that. I mean,
I
the
think
Bills had 40 minutes of possession, 40 minutes to 19 minutes.
I was going to say, what was like the total? Like, was it 40-19?
Yeah.
Like that, right?
Like they had just over 40 and we had just over 40 and they had just under 20 minutes. So they were like 1950. So,
oh, I wish they can do that. I suppose I should look up the stuff before the show starts. But who were the winners for the Bills outside of, Josh Allen playing a pretty fucking good game, smart game. Here we go. Team stats. So 450 total yards, yards versus 240. Passing yards 267, rushing yards 183 yards rushing. And
man, if Kyle Allen didn't get that -2, he would have been at 185.
Oh, geez, Allen, come on. And that's not Josh Allen. Josh Allen only had 7 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we
3
need.
attempts.
That is what we need. What we need is Josh Allen not running the ball. Let our running backs who get paid millions of dollars to run the ball. And that's what happened. They must be watching Breaking Tables because that's exactly what happened. 183 yards. This is ridiculous. 29 first down to 13. I love that 4th down efficiency. 3 for 4.
3 for 4.
Only 1 punt. That's going to win the game 100% of the time. 40 minutes and 4 seconds versus 1956. That is crazy. Come on. Unless, like, I think the old guys were talking back, the Bills versus Giants Super Bowl. They were talking about the Bills only had 19 minutes against the Giants when they played them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, the Bills lost too. So there you go. So that's not really a valid argument.
Well, also last year, the Miami game, they had like 40 minutes. They had the ball for like 40 minutes and they freaking lost to Miami.
Oh, geez.
The sweat fest.
All right. Who are you giving the award here? The MVP game ball to Campanile?
Cook.
He
owned that game yesterday. He was running people over. He made himself available to everybody, rushing, receiving, everything. He did it all yesterday. 100% get that game ball. I just hate he didn't get a touchdown.
All right, that's gonna come. It's got to be one of the other. I'd rather have him 100 yards, no touchdowns, because that means, for the fantasy footballers who got Josh Allen, he's gonna get the touchdown. It's either gonna be a running back or Josh Allen.
Well, I have James Cook, so I would like to have him get a couple of touchdowns.
Oh, stop being greedy. Come on. I'd rather do it for Josh Allen's stats so we can get MVP.
Oh, let him throw him the ball. I don't care.
Listen, Matt Milano played. Okay, so I'm going to go to the defensive side of the ball. Matt Milano, he played like a stud, but there was a guy that kind of outperformed him. Bernard, bro. Led the team in tackles, interceptions, pass deflected. The guy was everywhere. You can't really blame him for defending against Devontae Davis because a starting cornerback can barely compete with Devontae Davis. But Bernard played like, wow, all right, he played pretty good. So if I had to give somebody, Milano or Bernard. People are like, you're going to give Bernard over Milano? I'm going to give Bernard the defensive side game ball just because of how good he did. His stats were just a little better than Milano's. And Milano had a breakdown on Devontae Adams as well too. So you got to look at them side by side. Bernard had a better game.
I don't know. Milano's interception was just ridiculous.
No, there's no Madden curse.
There's only
no
a Madden
Madden
curse
curse.
for people that say there's a Madden curse.
We broke all the curses. We had 17-year drought curse. Okay. We have the curses when it comes to winning heartbreaking games. We broke all those curses. Curses are out the window. This is 2023. Fuck curses.
And
Right?
that's it.
That's it. Let's end the show off that one. Fuck curses. Hashtag fuck curses. All right, so there we go. Here we go, guys. We've got that victory under our belt. Obviously, we're second place, I think, in the division, or third, I guess, in the division for now. But whatever, it's week 2. I'm not worried about that. At the end of the year, when we have a fourth year in a row for division, number 1 seed, when we're 16-1, or 15-1. Well, how many
16
games?
16-1, you're correct.
16-1. I'm not concerned about I'm not concerned about it right now at all. Not week 2. Then we're going to Washington to play the Commandos. Guys,
So what the fucks?
Yeah. But we're gonna go back to calling them the what the fucks, just because
They should go back to the Heads. No, they're trying to get back to being the Redskins.
Which this Thursday, we're going to have the Washington, D.C. Bills backers chapter president, Gregory. He's going to be on talking about all the festivities. It's going to be a home game for Buffalo. I'm telling you, it's going to be a home game for Buffalo. Ooh, they're 2-0 right now. But after coming off to that victory, how could you not go into them hot? Yeah, they got a good defense, but we got a better offense. And their offensive line is trash. It's just they play trash teams. I mean, the Broncos, I'm sorry, the Broncos are trash. I don't think they're going to win a game this year. Poor Sean Payton. He should have stayed in retirement, but that's why the Washington won. Sam Hall, you're not a good quarterback, bud. You are not a good quarterback. But we're going to talk about that on Thursday. I'm over embellishing the victory and what it does to our chances. It's just a short window, short view on what to expect going forward with the Buffalo Bills. So I'm excited, Tappy.
I'm excited about it too. Yeah. Just next week, I'm definitely excited about. Can't wait to have Gregory on again. We haven't had him on last time we played. Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah, Gregory.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Well, that should be a good time for the Bills fans. Make Buffalo into the state capital, Washington, D.C. We're going to turn that in mini Buffalo, D.C. We're going to call it Buffalo, D.C. Fans of Buffalo and the power of fans of Buffalo and Washington, D.C. Bills backers. That's going to be interesting. But Tabanil, any final thoughts about this game, about life, about going into week 3 against the Commandos or the what the fuck?
Man, just watching that game. They always talk about complimentary football. Like McDermott preaches it. The guys talk about it all during their press conferences. Yesterday's game was the ultimate complimentary football. Everything that they did, the offense played more defense and the defense played defense. The offense played defense because they didn't allow the offense of the Raiders on the field. Like everything that they did was complimentary for everything.
Very well balanced. Very well balanced. I love that analogy. Even the offense played defense. That's how good our defense was. When you keep the opposing teams off the field, that's what I call defense. Flawless victory. That is the best defense in the NFL right now. I mean, okay, Cowboys played some crappy teams. All right, fine. We'll give them that one right now. I know the Jets are. You guys are a decent team, decent defense, but I mean, I'm telling you, the Buffalo Bills with Sean McDermott running that defense and the offense helping out the defense, and we're gonna have the best defense at the end of the year, and that's all that matters. Defense. Like McDermott is like everywhere. He's like, we're gonna turn our special teams into defense. We're gonna bite their kneecaps, but
bite a kneecap.
Oh man.
No, I mean, I love watching McDermott's defense, by the way. I don't know about you. They're attacking the crap out of the quarterback. Like they're just nonstop going after him.
Yeah, we're talking about that this week too. It's like, the difference between the Frazier defense versus a McDermott defense is Frazier always wanted to play conservative football. You know, there's no, we're just going to rush 4, maybe 3 guys. McDermott's like, fuck that, dude. let our guys play. Let our guys play. Let's send all our guys. I don't care. But there's always going to be a guy blitzing. There's going to be something exotic. I really like McDermott's defense. And keeps playing.
Well,
You look at the quarterbacks. They're always on their toes. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Where's he at? Nowhere. But
well, Frazier plays a defense fairly similar to what Bill Belichick does. Like Belichick will let you go down the field, but when you get to the red zone, it's over. Like that's exactly the way Frazier played deep. Like that was a defense that he ran. McDermott is like, I'm going to attack you. I'm not going to let you get to the red zone. I like that.
I do too. It helps with my blood pressure.
Right.
You know, I'd rather just like let's keep them in their own 50-yard line. You know, they're set of the 50. Because once you start creeping towards the 20 or 30, you know it's going to be at least 3 points. And I don't even want to give them 3 points. I don't want to give them 3 points. So maybe we can have our shutout burgers, because you know that I'm going to call a shutout on every game. So
come on, are you? Everyone?
Every single one of them. Write it down right now.
Shut up for every game.
Cowboys who? Exactly. Guys, thanks. Bills Mafia. Thank you guys all for tuning in. John, thanks. Good show. Yes, brother. Appreciate you tuning in. Bills had a great balance with their offense, running, throwing the ball. They were just complete, like Tampa Neal said, complimentary football at its finest. Flawless game, flawless victory. I can't wait to shut out the Commandos or WTFs this weekend. But stay tuned for Thursday when we have Bills backers, Washington, D.C. on. Gregory, that's going to be epic. Tampa Neal, it's that time, brother. The 60 minutes went by quick. Woo!
Yeah,
I want to watch the replay of the game again yesterday. That's
really all right. I got give me fired up again.
Who needs coffee when you can watch a recap? But Neil, take us home, brother.
All right. Thanks for joining us today, ladies and gentlemen. You can see us every Monday and Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Pull us up on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter for the live versions. You get to see our pretty faces and enjoy the show. So if you missed the show for some crazy reason, or you just love hearing our voices while you're driving into work or stuck on the I-90, or if you're stuck on 95, pull us up wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, whether it is iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Pod, Google Pod. Pull us up, like us, hit the subscribe button, share us, tell your aunts, uncles, neighbors. Don't tell your attorneys.
And buy a house with Janet Gosh.
Buy your houses with Janet Gosh. Absolutely.
That was awesome. Oh, guys, love all y'all. That was so much fun. I can't wait to do this again Thursday to get you hyped and ready for the Commandos, WTFs, whatever you want to call. Josh Allen right here. Go Bills. We love all y'all.